Since you are a Christmas romance movie veteran, what what did you bring? What did you want to bring to the holiday hunk character of Sam that completes his character?
Well, I think that the interesting part about playing Sam was that he has so much of his life figured out and that he has none of his life figured out.
Interesting.
He's had a lot of success financially and in the business world and conquered some of those mountains, but he still, just wants what everybody wants. He's a lonely guy and looking for the right one,
Awesome.
and yeah, he kind of gets to go home and find out if the right one was always in his backyard, right in his backyard.
There you go. Now, these films have a formula that people love. What did you note about the familiar formula in this one that you knew you could play off of?
Yeah, well, I think the familiar formula is always feeling good and finding love and finding happiness. And I just thought that that these two characters and really all of the characters in Exes of Christmas Past were kind of all on that wholesome trajectory of when it's the holidays, it really reminds you of what's important, and those
Sure.
people that are looking to reaffirm that they still have the magic within them.
So, when you're trying to establish a romantic pursuit in a story with a person you haven't met before, what do you find is the best way to establish chemistry to make the on screen sparks emerge?
Well, actually, to fill you in, Brittany and I did know each other. We had
Okay.
done a few movies. We had done a few movies together before, and then we were actually dating while we were doing this movie as well. So,
Interesting.
yeah,
Ooh,
yeah.
scoop.
So, exactly. So, yeah. So it was finding new things about each other and new chemistry, kind of while the cameras were rolling, and not trying to, duplicate how we met or how we fell in love, but it was rather like this pinch me moment of, oh, I can't believe we're doing this now with the cameras rolling sort of thing and having like that whole new element. Yeah.
Sure.
So it was great. It was great. Yeah.
Well, that makes sense then.
Yeah.
Um, how do you and your fellow ensemble actors stay loose and in the holiday spirit when trying to recreate that spirit in what I presume is a very tight shooting schedule and not
Yeah.
necessarily around Christmas?
Sure. Yeah. No, we shot this movie in early April,
Oh,
and
wow.
it was still chilly though. We actually went to Wrigley Field one of our days off, and thank God the wind was blowing the right way because it was it was chilly. But I think that being in Woodstock just as a town just feels so like anywhere wholesome America, in the best
Right,
way.
right.
And then being at the bed and breakfast with Lori, and there's all of that movie history with Groundhog's Day in that space. We ended up staying in a place called the Cherry Branch, which was like an affiliate house that they have. But we were working in these sort of like classic historical homes in this very charming town. And yeah, I'm from the Midwest, and a lot of people in the cast and crew were also in the Midwest. And there's just a
Nice.
sort of like wholesomeness to that as well. And I think, all that stuff just kind of like really brought it all home for me and like helped me lean into, like you said, keeping the Christmas and holiday cheer.
Yeah. So you've been a working actor for over 15 years. How has that journey evolved you as a human being? And what's the best acting tip you've ever received?
Okay, well, so, thank you for saying that I've been a working actor for 15 years. I think that I had a small amount of bookings for really the first 10 years I was at it.
Okay.
Um, I didn't get busy until COVID hit. My name was never high enough on the list when they were holding in-person auditions in casting rooms. They could only see a certain amount of actors. And when COVID
Right.
hit, the nets kind of expanded. And that's when
Ah,
I was able to get seen by casting directors and break through. And so that kind of like, leans into the advice that I would give to people, or it's just if you really want to pursue it and you really want to do it, just know that it can take time, and that's
right.
okay. And that sometimes that time that it takes does change you and give you perspective as an actor or just really as a human being as well.
Sure.
And yeah, it's I guess don't get discouraged if you don't have immediate success, because I don't think that immediate success for most of us is really what being an actor is all about.
Sure. Great answer, man. So, with the many credits that you have, which one do you feel moved you forward the most? And what made that one particular role? How did that one particular role make that movement happen?
Well, so I did a couple movies, right after, COVID. So this was like
Right.
2021. I remember I was flying back from Minnesota in the summer, coming back to LA, and I got a call in the airport. I was right next to my mom. She was taking a different departing flight. And I got a call in the airport that I was going to go and do a movie called The Wrong High School Sweetheart with Vivica Fox in it and Eric
Nice.
Roberts in it.
Nice.
Yeah. And I mean, we shot that movie in about half the time that we shot Exes of Christmas Past. So it was like, yeah, we were doing 15 to 20 pages a day, just rapid firing through it. But I had a lot of fun. It's a thriller, and I had a lot of fun playing the wrong high school sweetheart. And that kind of like, led to a lot more work in the TV movie space. And then the movie that I actually met Brittany on, she was directing a movie called Dangerous Snow Day, and that was later that year in 2021, and that was my first time playing like the hero cop. And I kind of like, he was a young deputy who, we're not really sure if he's up to the task or not, and so I kind of like leaned into that and had fun kind of playing it's a serious thriller, but also finding some fun, lighthearted, like kind of comedy beats too.
Great.
And I would say, those two movies early on in COVID in 2021, after I did those movies, and I thought, okay, well, I can do this and I can do that, and I'm feeling like I can kind of really continue to go after this,
Right.
and it was sort of like that kind of like validation or affirmation that all of us actors say we don't need, but we all desperately yearn for, sort of thing. So yeah, so those were probably the two that kind of like helped me move forward.
Well, it was a title role too. You were the wrong high school. What was the title?
The Wrong High School Sweetheart. I was the wrong high school sweetheart. Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah,
That
yeah,
had to be cool.
yeah. It was fun.
Okay.
It was fun.
Finally, which element of the Christmas tide do you best connect with and why? The tree trim, the baking, the decorating, the songs, the parties, the feeling of home or family?
Well, God, I want to say all of it. I want to say all of it. I mean, what's not to like? I mean, look, I love putting up the tree and getting out the
Sure.
old ornaments that you've
Yeah.
always had your whole lives.
Yeah.
There's no better time of year to eat. We've been doing smoked prime rib the past couple years, which has been,
Nice.
just great. And then, but this, I would say, without family, it's because I've spent a couple of holidays when I didn't see family,
Sure.
and weighing that and the difference to that, and seeing your family. It's just at the end of the day, it's home is where the heart is, and it's really bringing in Christmas and having the holiday season with your family is really what matters most.
This is Patrick McDonald for HollywoodChicago.com. Copyright 2025.